Hello to anyone watching this. So last year for April Fool's Day I made a little video ranking the top 10 hottest Dynasty Warriors men, and it was a lot of fun, you know. I love just taking an excuse to talk about the Dynasty Warriors series and all of the cosmetic beauties held within it, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to do the same again this year. So today I just wanted to rank all of Xiahou Yuan's costumes, specifically from Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends, because that's the game that he and everyone else has the widest selection of costumes in. I would love to rank every single character's costume, but I really don't feel like making an 8-hour video, especially for April Fools. And since Yuan is my favourite character, I thought he was the best choice to focus on, especially because he has 10 costumes here. You know, that amount is just asking to be ranked. So yeah, obviously all of my choices are going to be based on how well I think the overall costume looks, as well as how good I think it works on Yuan specifically. So let's start at the bottom with the one that I think fails the most on both aspects, his original costume. Like, just in general, I'm not really a big fan of this type of original costume, because while I do appreciate a good juxtaposition in tone, I don't really ever want to pick some basic real-world occupation-themed outfit over really cool-looking armor. And especially in this case, I just find this one to be so boring. Like, I understand the concept they're going for because, you know, photographers take shots, just like how Yuan does with his bow and arrow, but still, it's just so plain. There's no real flourishes to it, and like, I get that it was only ever going to be this shade of blue because, you know, the whole way connection, but still, it just doesn't work. And my least favourite part is definitely the hat, which looks really dorky and just makes him look like a bit of a Burke, really. But this is the only costume that I really, truly dislike. All of the ones from here have some real merit to them. Even his Dynasty Warriors 7 original costume, which is another occupation-based look, but I just find this one a lot more endearing. Like, I don't know why exactly he's a gym teacher. Like, I'd certainly let him abuse his power on me, but that's another matter. And I do like how his unzipped jacket shows off a nice bit of chest, like, yes please. But in terms of being a costume, I think the shades of blue here are a lot nicer and stand out more, with the whites and yellows providing some good highlights. Next is his Dynasty Warriors 5 costume, which is my least favourite out of his proper armour sets because it just looks a bit weirdly bulky. Like, I think that's just a consequence of how it was imported onto his Dynasty Warriors 8 character model. Like, in its original version, I think it looks perfectly fine. It's just, here the shoulder pads are bulky, the helmet's bulky, his legs are bulky. Like, I do love a bit of bulky, but here it just looks off to me. Like, I really like the yellow sash going around his waist, that really helps it to pop out, but other than that, this just looks a bit off in general, but still perfectly good as a set of armour on its own. Next is his Dynasty Warriors 7 original costume 2, which is leagues above his other costumes of this genre, because this overall set is a lot more based around fantasy and just general themes that fit in a lot better with Dynasty Warriors, and I think that's just perfectly reflected by the fact that he's an archer with a feather in his cap and all. It's just so endearing. Like, the only real reason it's below everything else at this point is just because I don't think green is his exact colour, but still, this is a perfect look for him. Next is his regular costume 1, which of course was the look he was in when I was first introduced to him, so it'll always have a very special place in my heart. It's just, it doesn't really have any extra feature that stands out compared to everything above it. Like, this is truly the refined version of his look from every previous game, and I really respect it for that. I just think that there's more quirky aspects to all of his previous looks that put them above this. Such as his Dynasty Warriors 6 costume, which, don't worry, it's not this high just because it's by far his sluttiest look. I just really appreciate how it feels a lot more barbarian. I really like that vibe on him. And I also like how he doesn't have a helmet. Like, in general, I prefer when he lets his hair flow out, even though I'm not the biggest fan of man buns, you know, some guys can pull it off, and he's definitely one of them. Next is his Dynasty Warriors 4 costume, which I think blends together really well, sort of traditional armour and a more ceremonial appearance. At least to me, you know, there's just something about his trousers with the mixed shades of blue and teal that just really make it feel that bit more regal compared to all the previous ones, and once again I think that's a look that just works brilliantly on him. Next is his Dynasty Warriors 3 costume, which I think leans more into the regal feel and looks even better for it. Like, I am a total sucker for little splashes of gold and red on any costume like this, and especially with such a vibrant shade of blue, you just can't go wrong here. And I really like the little hat he has on. I have absolutely no idea what it's really called, but it just makes him look even cuter. But lastly, we have his Dynasty Warriors 7 costume, which for me blends together his more regal vibes from 3 and 4 and his more warrior vibes from 5 and 8 to create something just so exquisite and layered. Like, you'd feel really honoured to be able to peel back each part and appreciate them individually. It's only beaten by his Dynasty Warriors 7 costume 2, which I just think has a better colour palette, really. So that's all of his costumes covered. I just really appreciate getting to take the opportunity to natter about them all, because I think they might be my favourite part of any Warriors game. Like, I think that stems from when I played Hyrule Warriors Legends, and in each of its DLC packs, 16 costumes would be included, so it was always exciting to see who would get one and who wouldn't, and what colour palettes they would go for, and how despicably ugly some of them would turn out, but how absolutely gorgeous others would turn out. You know, it's just such a fun part of these games that always feels like it gets a lot of love. So yeah, I guess that's everything. But, you know, while we're all here, can I just take a quick opportunity to talk about Warriors Abyss? Because I feel like no one's talking about this game. Like, it was randomly shadow dropped in the last PlayStation State of Play Direct or whatever, and I think it's already one of my favourite Warriors games, like, ever. Like, it takes the traditional controls and gameplay of a Warriors game, specifically Warriors Orochi 4, and drags and drops it into a top-down roguelike game, and it's just such a perfect fit. Like, I already get a lot out of just mindlessly playing Warriors games for hours, but to be like consistently upgrading after every battle and making bonds with each specific character, all of which have assigned labels and attributes that you can pile on top of each other to make yourself even stronger. Like, you can make an entire team of just the Wei guys, and I'm more than happy with just that. And yeah, you just keep on powering through until you beat a final boss, and it's just such a fun gameplay loop. I'm definitely going to get way more hours out of it than I've already gotten, and especially getting to play as Xiahou Yuan the whole time. Like, I've already made him way better than literally any other character, so I'm sort of stuck with him at this point, but, you know, I never mind that, and I always appreciate getting to pick up all the other Wei characters because, you know, they're the best anyway. But yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, do let me know. Just, it's a real shame that Dynasty Warriors 9 didn't end up with as robust of a costume selection as 8 that was worth ranking at all, because I just really like Yuan's civilian outfit. Like, I always love a man in a robe because, you know, I can imagine him wearing it, and then mostly wearing it, and then barely wearing it, and then not wearing it. But bye-bye. Have a nice day.